Photonics is another company which has been doing the rounds in the markets. Lots of buzz around that company. To tell us more as to what the reason is Sanjeev Bhavnani, who now joins us in the studio. He's the CEO and MD. Sanjeev, thanks so much for joining us in the studio about Vishwesh. Tell me first off the joint venture bit, the news trigger of it. How crucial is it and what does it really mean for the company?
Well, the JV is our entry point into the US markets. Vishwesh has been largely a company which has been so far focused on the domestic market. This is a very important breakthrough for us, and equally important is the fact that we've entered the US market with a $20 million direct order from a Fortune 500 company, and this is the first one that they have actually given in the space of knowledge process outsourcing or PPO to any company anywhere in the world.
But Sanjeev, can you distinguish for us, given that you were making your first move into the US market, what made it come through for you? So what would be your core competency in terms of delivering it?
Well, what makes it happen is possibly an attitude and thorough understanding that we have of the market. The KPO, BPO space is something which is, KPO is fairly new, but the BPO space is something which we've been studying very closely for a long time now. There have been opportunities in the past, but nothing which really excited us. Because the major points which would make that differentiator, one is having the right business and the right value addition from that business. We are a software product company. We have core skills on domains. And
which would be in the direct broadcasting or the communication side of it?
Well, the process that we are taking on is in the VSAT area, which is for broadcast. However, the strengths that we have, our core competencies lie in our strengths in creating intellectual property in the space of ERP, enterprise products, enterprise software.
Now, how do the margin picture change, or let's say how would the revenue bottom line kind of a situation change with this order coming through?
To answer one part of it, on the revenue front, this order is slightly in excess of what our entire revenue for the current year would be. So it makes us much more sure on our belief that we can manage 100% Y&Y growth.
So you become automatically almost double your size the way you were?
We definitely believe we have the order book position today to feel confident about achieving 100% growth for next year.
Now, Sanjeev, the question is, if you're a product company and if you're small in size, if you don't continue to get such big orders, then your space remains limited. How are you going to address that?
Obviously, we have strategies in place. There has been a lot of change in the company over the last 2 to 3 years, so to say. We created a lot of products which are now one by one coming for launch. The success of these products in the market is also making us fairly sure of the robustness of our growth on the coming period. In terms of the KPO, which is a new initiative for us, this particular process is going to only utilize one shift from our KPO process.
So you will be using it on the same group will be used for other shifts as well?
Yes, the same infrastructure would be used for some other processes which we are trying to tie up now. And given the optimism that our team currently has at delivering the business that we are picking up, we feel that there should be a substantial increase in revenues.
Right. Let me ask you the kind of margin picture, because we didn't touch about that. So revenues would double, or rather double this existing size of revenue. What happens to the margin picture? It has to improve then?
Yeah, because we are going for a specialized process. Obviously, the payouts are much better than what one sees in the services sector or in the BPO sector. We anticipate that the bottom line from this diversification of ours would be in line with our enterprise software products bottom lines, which is to the tune of around 50%.
And the entire going ahead, the year picture also becomes much better then?
The value addition would continue to increase, hence the bottom lines would keep improving, not just for a year. We hope we are on a steady path here of growth. And
what about acquisition? That would have to be a way out if you want to quadruple or multiply your growth.
We are looking at acquisitions. In fact, we are currently negotiating with 3 odd companies, 2 of them in the US and another one in India. Acquisitions would definitely be something which is pretty much on the cards. We hope to bring in the right companies to take our products to the market.
And what would be the size of these acquisitions we are talking about?
They would vary. They would vary. We are looking at key players here. We are not looking at, we are looking at people who can actually fill up the vacuum that we have to address the Western markets.
So completing your portfolio, that's what you are basically trying to do?
That's right. The products are there with us. We need the market reach, and our acquisitions would be for market reach and delivery mechanisms.
Sanjeev, best of luck. Thanks so much for joining us in our studios, and we'll of course be back with you, I'm sure, once all this revenue stream kicks in onto your balance sheet. Thanks so much for coming in.